what we do here is go back.
And there we go, although I'm not sat down. And straight away there's a super chat coming in from Ugly Bob. How you doing, Ugly Bob? Bloody hell, it is hot one today. Doesn't help when you have a last minute nightmare with your technology. Luckily there's an Amazon Prime sale due on in a few days time. So any things which are potentially causing issues with our streaming setup, we can hopefully rectify during Amazon Prime Day. There is a completely useless link there. Thank you very much, Ugly Bob. Much appreciated. Let's click on that. See if actually anything is working on this setup today. I think it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it's working. There seems to be a massive delay on the stream as well from what I can see actually on there. But anyway. Such is life. It is Saturday the 9th of July 2022 in the good year of our Lord. And welcome to Mikesunboxing Reviews and How To. This is the Saturday evening live stream. If you've not been here before, this is a relatively chilled out, laid back stream. We talk about tech, chat, politics, putting the world to rights, all that kind of stuff. Mostly focused around technology and mostly, I guess, about making the best of what funds you have available. We're not the kind of J's to Linus tips where we have an unlimited budget and we can get things in and just have a look and poke around and see what's good, and if we don't like it, doesn't matter, just get another one off the shelf. We are real world here, so we're always looking for bargains, looking for ways to save money and spend money sensibly, I guess you would say. Another super chat come in from O'Reilly. If you're new here, you're not sure what the hell is going on, much like me at the moment, when a super chat comes in, sets off the disco ball, and also you'll see your question highlighted on the screen, which looks like it's doing. Actually, I should read that, shouldn't I, really? O'Reilly says, looks like Mike has been chilling in the sun today. Chilling? Chilling? I don't have time for chilling. Well, I kind of do. But as a YouTuber, and as someone who's kind of slightly invested in technology, it's hard to have a free moment to yourself. You know what it's like. If it's not someone asking a question, it's something to fix. And if it's something to fix, it's something to patch, download. It goes on and on. And also looking for the next greatest thing. What is going to be the next thing to buy? That is the question in the poll in the chat. So if you're on your mobile device or if you're on a desktop device, get over and go into the poll section and let us know. What are you looking forward to in Prime Day? If anything at all. I think there's only an option for basically 3 or 4 things. So I kind of narrowed it down. So CPUs, I guess they are the kind of brains of the operation. So maybe you're looking for a CPU, possibly looking for a GPU, because most people kind of, after the last 2 years we've had, looking for a GPU is never easy. Third, I guess, is storage or RAM. Motherboards, I guess, are not such high priority items for a lot of people, so I left it with something else. And it appears at the moment, looking at the poll, something else is doing pretty well at 47%. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later and see what the deal is. There's another super chat from Uggs there, and it says, "What's that colour, Mike? I'm thinking about getting my fence done the same colour. It looks like wood oak." Thank you very much for that. The colour is probably Wix's Fence and Shed Treatment Brown, slightly diluted. Maybe a 3-to-1 mixture with water. Ironically, we have actually been using that in our back garden, which some of you may have seen.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. It's come off. Anyway, Mark Point says the colouring is a little brighter than usual. Is it really? Or is it just me? It's being sweaty and tanned. This is never a good look, is it? Come on. YouTuber saying to me, now would be a good time to insert ads. Well, screw you. Ain't gonna happen. And Rick H is coming with $20. Thank you very much. And says $20 for your Prime Day goodies. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking for. I've got some ideas. And this week has very much polarised my ideas. This week has been an absolute bitch, I'll be honest with you. I know you're not supposed to say that anymore, but it has been. If I could say the C word, I would. It has been, yesterday particularly. I spent the best part of, was it 8 or 9 hours? It's got to be that, hasn't it? 8 or 9 hours trying to get Adobe Premiere to render a video, which actually wasn't that good a video anyway. And the video I did re-record numerous times because of other things that went wrong. I think what it is, because at the moment here in the UK, we've got some seriously good weather. And I think we're getting some solar flares. And I'm sure they're affecting the equipment. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Are your solar flares affecting your PC? Mine certainly are. So yes, it has been traumatic. So for me personally, the only thing that I haven't done with my PC setup so far to attain the Zen moment of complete Adobe Premiere ownership is to try an Intel processor. So my last ditch attempt at trying to get some sort of sanity out of my computer when it comes to rendering and it failing at various things, I really thought I had it nailed. I've gone through so many different processors, so many different motherboards, power supplies, you name it, and it doesn't seem to make any rhyme or reason. The only thing which has never changed has been my processor. I've never used an Intel processor full-time for my video editing rig. So I'm potentially going to be looking at a 12600 or 12700 from my main video editing rig. I'm almost 100% sure that my problems are related to the fact that NVIDIA update their drivers and then Adobe Premiere kind of play catch up, or vice versa. So Premiere has an update, NVIDIA releases a new driver. The system's working fine. It has been for absolutely ages. I've got it. It is really nailed down, almost perfection. And then I stupidly changed my graphics card, and then I updated the graphics card driver. Ever since updating the graphics card driver, that is when I've noticed some slight issues. Anyway, you don't want to hear about my problems. You really don't. And I actually don't want to talk about them, to be completely honest with you. What we want to talk about is deals. Deals, 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 and prime deals, and deals that possibly aren't deals that might catch you unawares of what you can do to actually avoid getting ripped off. And just basically how to kind of shop a little bit more sensibly. There are so many people. Now, I would say, honestly, I am not an intellectual person. I'm not a particularly clever person. I've got a little bit of nous about me, but I'm not an academic in any way, shape or form. So take my advice with a massive grain, like boulder-sized lump of salt. But I generally can spot a bargain. That's the one thing which over the last, I don't know, 15 to 20 years has kept me in really good stead, is the fact that I can generally spot a bargain a mile off, or I can tell if something is a little bit iffy or not. There's been one or two times where I've been led astray off the beaten track and yeah, things haven't worked out exactly as they should be. But I think I've got a pretty good grasp on what is a deal and what isn't, and how to shop and actually get the best value for money. I've been doing that for years for my own personal needs, and obviously with the channel now, that is something that we do all the time. Kath, bless her heart, every day gets emails left, right and centre from lots of Amazon sellers saying, well, we've got this deal on.
I don't get many now, to be honest.
They are dying off a little bit, but they are being posted on ShopSmart. So if you've not joined ShopSmart, you can join that. There is a link to our Facebook page, which is basically run by Kath. I do post the odd thing on there now and then. But it's basically deals all day long, mostly Amazon stuff around the world. It's not necessarily just UK. So if you want to pick up a deal, it might be something very weird like a, I think we've had some dildos and things like that.
I haven't put those on.
But Kath thinks twice about posting those.
Because my mum feels embarrassed sharing them for us.
Yeah, Kath's mum shares a post, so she feels embarrassed sharing dildo posts, which is kind of understandable.
Thinks it's funny.
It is quite funny. The things that you can buy on Wish and Amazon and stuff like that is amazing. If you do a search on Amazon for, I think it was it 3400G? It used to be like that, or 3200G, and basically it comes up with fake strap-on breasts which you can purchase. So we haven't listed any of those either, to be fair. But generally anything else from kitchen appliances, kitchen utensils to things like mouse mat sets, wireless keyboards, you know, all that kind of cheap and cheerful stuff that you quite often see and think, actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind one of those. Those kind of impulse buys. So if you want to grab any of those, we do post them, like I said, on ShopSmart. Kath's posted a link in the chat there. You can also get them from Discord. So if you're a viewer of the channel and you like what you see, or you just can't find the mouse to click on the X button at the top, then maybe you want to join our Discord and chat with other relatively like-minded individuals. It's an extremely eclectic bunch in our Discord. I'll say that. There are all sorts. There really are. So don't think for any minute, if you're watching this, that you think, oh, maybe I won't fit in. It's extremely inclusive. We don't care. We really don't care. So you're more than welcome. Obviously, if you're an asshole, you're going to be doing bad things, then you're going to get kicked or banned or both. But otherwise, yeah, you're more than welcome to join us on our Discord and have a chat. It's a worldwide community full of very strange people, including myself. So if you want to have a chat with us and chill out, you're more than welcome to do so. Anyway, Bob says we're special. I would agree. Special in very, very differing ways. Anyway, Dutch Jan said there, I've just noticed that comment, saying Amazon is way too expensive for PC parts. Now, I would definitely disagree.
What country are we talking now?
Dutch Jan, are you actually using UK? Or I suppose, to generalise, I suppose, yes. In some countries and some regions, I guess Amazon possibly isn't the best deal out there. But I feel personally, actually, for us in the UK, especially when a deal does pop up, they generally are good value for money. And I would argue, if I went through my accounts, I'd probably purchase maybe 75–80% of everything that we use on the channel from Amazon. Easily, maybe even more.
I don't like that.
Would you say that? About 80%?
Yeah.
The trouble is, especially for us in the UK, there aren't a great deal of options. The thing is why Prime works, and why, if you haven't already got Prime, maybe you should consider it. If you're buying a lot of stuff all the time, and you want kind of next day or a few days free delivery. Now, of course, you can do it on eBay. But with most things on eBay, everything is a little bit sketchy, in my opinion. With Amazon, I'm not shilling here, by the way. This is just my own personal perspective. So you're more than welcome to disagree. Please do. I enjoyed the conversation. But with Amazon, the reason why I would even be tempted, even if sometimes there's an offer on where another site is maybe a couple of pounds cheaper, I'm generally going to go with Amazon if it's an Amazon seller or sold by Amazon and fulfilled by Amazon. So anything which is FBA, which means fulfilled by Amazon, those have got really great warranties. And I think for those of you that are in the chat right now watching, there's a good 70 odd of you, if you've bought something from Amazon, had it fail, and then had a bad experience with returning it, let me know in the comments now. Because I'm going to say that the majority of people were going to get an excellent response from Amazon when you're trying to send stuff back. Quite often, not so much these days, but previously, you could actually buy something from Amazon. We had it actually with George. We bought a power supply. Bless him, it was his birthday. We spent his birthday money on a graphics card and a power supply. Graphics card from Novatech, power supply from Amazon. Put it in the PC, and we got to the final bit and plugging in the modular cables for the power supply, which was a EVGA G5, I think it was, possibly. It is a good quality power supply. But the graphics card modular cables were missing. Someone had already had them. It was a warehouse deal, so yeah, that's kind of on us, but you expect things to be there. So I got in touch with Amazon and they said, okay, very sorry about that indeed. Please let us refund you that. I'm like, okay, can you send me a return label so I can send this back? They're like, don't worry, just dispose of it carefully. It's like, awesome. You can't beat that kind of service. Now, clearly that isn't going to happen to everybody all the time, but having that in the back of your mind, and again, there's going to be others of you that have had the same thing. I think it was Dave Aitken was mentioning it, that he's had similar things where he's phoned Amazon support and they've just said, okay, just keep it, we'll send you another one. Certainly things like mobile phone covers, cases, that sort of stuff. Most cables, like if you're buying a bunch of HDMI cables or HDMI adapters, all that sort of stuff, generally, if you get any issues with it at all, they'll just say, right, don't worry, we'll refund it or credit your Amazon account. Just, yeah, dispose of it carefully or responsibly, I suppose they would probably say these days. And I think most of you have probably had that sort of experience where the returns is actually awesome. The only ones I've had problems with or it's taken longer is if it was someone like, who did I have before? I had the motherboard, the B450F Strix 2, which the onboard LAN went a bit weird and just stopped working altogether. I think that was from possibly AWDIT via Amazon, or it might have been eBuyer via Amazon. I'm not entirely sure who it was. I can probably look it up anyway on our sales thing. But that was the only one which is like, right, here's an RMA number, send it back, you have to pay for the postage, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, this isn't the usual Amazon experience that I'm expecting. So do bear that in mind. So if you are looking for Prime Day deals, and there's things on there which are like, I quite fancy the idea of that, do make sure it's FBA. So fulfilled by Amazon or sold by Amazon. Those are the best ones to go for in my personal opinion.
You should say hello.
Yes, I should say hello to those of you that have been patiently waiting in the chat, so we'll get on and do that. I just noted there, Bob saying, Amazon did actually send me a monitor, which was faulty on arrival. They told me to bin it, and I received a replacement on the same day from the local depot. I couldn't believe it. That is the kind of thing that a lot of us have experienced. So if you are on the fence and maybe, I don't know what it is, maybe it's different in other countries, maybe it's slightly worse. I get it that Amazon are this big Goliath which you're basically destroying the high street. But on the flip side of that, regardless of what your political bias is and how you feel that Amazon have become where they are now, they offer a service. It is generally a very good one. And for a lot of us, especially as techies, let's be fair, we're not the most social creatures, are we? We're all right if we've got a keyboard in front of us.
There isn't many tech shops,
And
to be fair.
but most of us are relatively homely people. And I'd imagine there's probably a good few of you out there that are watching that maybe have disabilities or mobility issues. So you can't get around. You can't be swan off to the local PC World or your Walmarts or your Newegg's, that sort of thing. Is a Newegg got a store? I'm not sure, but you get you know what I mean. A lot of people do still struggle to get around to physical stores. And actually, after the last 2 years, there's a lot of people that are still just bloody terrified to go outside, which, please, you shouldn't be. Just go outside, enjoy your life. It's a short one, make the most of it while you can. But anyway, I digress. So actually having an Amazon Prime account where you can just go online, find something which is generally going to be a good price, I feel personally. Okay, let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. It's a good price. The delivery is generally, if it says it's going to be next day, it generally is. Although recently they've switched over in the UK from using Hermes to using Royal Mail, so they're screwed basically. They did it before actually. There must be like a 2-year contract thing which goes around. Sound familiar, Kath?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-year contracts, we don't like those. Anyway, yeah, so they've got Royal Mail back now, so deliveries, I guess, are going to be screwed. Royal Mail, I think, are going to be striking in the UK shortly, so your Prime Day deals might not turn up quite as quickly as you'd hope for. But actually, something else to consider, completely off on a different tangent, but related also. If you're excited for Prime Day deals, which I'll be honest with you, I am getting a little bit of a twitch down there about Prime Day deals. Looking forward to them. I am looking for a processor. I want a 12600 or 12700 processor. I think it might help my internet. Not my internet. Well, probably will help my internet, but it will help my Adobe Premiere woes. And if it doesn't, because it's Amazon, they've got 30 days to send the bloody thing back, which would be awesome. So don't take that lightly either. 30 days to send it. Where else can you go into a shop and buy something and keep it for 30 days and on like before the 30th day turn around and say, actually, I don't want it, without having to jump through tons of hoops explaining why and what's wrong with it, and then sending it back for RMA or to check it out, or asking you to leave it with you so they can check it, blah 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 blah. Amazon are like, okay, why don't you want it? I just don't want it. Okay, click on that. Do you want to generate a label? Actually, no, I can't be arsed. Bring a label with you. Click, click, click. They'll turn up the next day to pick it up and take it away. And the money will be in your account once they receive it. It sucks that they are as huge as they are, and I get it that we know that in some places, possibly all places, Amazon treat their workers like absolute assholes, which is totally, totally bang out of order. And I do not support or condone that in any way, shape or form. But on the flip side of it, kind of, I know this is probably going off politically, but like, if you don't like working at Amazon, don't work there. If everybody walked out and they had no staff, they wouldn't be the world's #1. Simple, it just wouldn't happen. They need staff to make the business. They can't run it on their own, not yet. When they get robots to do it, they will. And clearly then everyone's sacked, and it's all going to be done by AI. God knows what will turn up. Yeah, so I don't condone their actions, but it is a good service. It genuinely is. For, I would say, 99% of all the purchases that I've made, it's been generally a very, very positive experience. There's been the old thing that's turned up, it's been damaged. Again, they're very good with that as well. But anyway, how do you spot an Amazon bargain? This is the question. Now, yeah, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Let's let's say hello. Let's say hello to some of you lunatics watching this. So I can't scroll up any further than that. Oh yes, because I broke the stream, didn't I? Live chat. That's what I want. Actually, first of all, the poll. Let's have a look at the poll. So currently, people are saying 21% are after a processor. 16% looking for a GPU. That surprises me. Storage and RAM, 19%. So between storage and RAM and processors, kind of relatively close. But nearly 50% of you, 45%, are looking for something else. That actually does blow my mind a little bit. Be honest with you, doesn't take a lot to blow my mind, but yeah, 46. Let me know, what are you looking for from Amazon Prime? What would be the thing that you would like, right, if that's on offer, I'm going to buy it. Let me know in the chat. I really am genuinely interested to know what is going to be the thing which is going to get you to spend the money. I thought it would have been GPUs because of the shortages over the last couple of years, but then I guess a lot of people now have got a GPU or have spent an absolute ridiculous amount of money on one and are now crying over it. But don't cry, because obviously just keep it. It is as valuable to you as it is. So just because you paid a load of money for it, in comparison with now, you're not a time traveller. At the time, you needed it, you wanted it, you got it. It's still that graphics card. Yeah, you spent a little bit over the odds. It happens. It's life. Get over it. I'm all heart today. David Williams. Oh, hang on. I don't know why it won't let me scroll up any further.
Michael Dunn's off.
Cheers, Michael. Ugly Bob says, you bargain sniffer. John Sullivan says, howdy. Mark Points with us as well. How you doing? Mookie MC says, is there a website or page where someone's showing the expected Prime Savings Day items? There isn't at the moment, as far as I know. There's a lot of speculation. There's going to be some things which are going to be obviously on sale, which are on sale every Prime Day, and that's going to be any of the Prime products. So you're looking at Prime itself, Amazon Prime, you normally get a discount. I think you can get a 50% student discount. I think they do that pretty much all the time anyway. If you sign up for Prime at the moment, I think you get 4 months free Amazon Music, whereas normally you'd only get 1 month as part of the package, so that's pretty cool. There was something else as well. I think there's another part of, I think Kindle books. You get extra Kindle books if Kindle books is your thing. Obviously, Amazon Echo devices, they're all going to be discounted somewhat. Fire TV sticks, the tablets, well, Fire tablets, they're 100% they're going to be reduced. I actually do fancy an Amazon Fire tablet, I'll be honest with you.
No.
Kath doesn't want one, but I'm interested in
I
one.
chuck all my books out and now I want them back.
Your books?
Yeah.
What books?
I had loads of books, didn't I?
Oh,
You
what?
said you
Actual
don't-
reading books with
Yeah.
paper?
You said you don't need
I don't want an Amazon tablet for that. I want an Amazon tablet for just answering questions while I'm in the garden, 'cause bigger screen and my eyes are getting bad. I'm not getting bad, but little screen, sunlight, never a mixture. Moving on. Captain Meat is with us and says, can we have a Mike's Unboxing bargain hunt stream? Actually, depending how...
colour.
Yeah, I am the right colour for it now. I am tempted, if there looks to be some decent bargains and it's not the kind of usual shit show it's been for the last couple of years, I might actually do a bit of a live stream or a bit of a catch up just to give a heads up for some of the deals which are out there and to get a little bit of feedback from you, not see how it's going. Prime Day isn't Prime Day, so it is over a couple of days. So yeah, what we'll probably do, the Discord I'd imagine, and also the comment section and the community tab are going to be pretty hot. So people do post in our Discord chat all the time bargains from Amazon and elsewhere, so potentially those are going to be really interesting places for a couple of days to see how that goes. So yeah, feel free to join us on the Discord and see what goes on. We might do a stream depending on how things go. I just read that, Bob, about the flares. No.
Love flares.
John Sullivan says, hopefully there are some storage bargains. That is what I'm looking for. I'm hoping we're going to see 1 terabyte NVMe drives of a decent branded quality, sort of like your SN570s or the is it P5, P3, P2? I can't remember. Whatever the crucial one is, I forget. Kioxia drives as well, they're pretty good. If we see those for £60 for a 1 terabyte NVMe M.2, I'll be pouncing on those because that's about £10 to £7 cheaper than they have been. There was a deal on Amazon Prime Day, I think it was 3 years ago possibly, might even be longer than that now. The TC Sunbow drives were out and they were doing 1 terabyte drives, either SATA or the M.2 drives, for £60. And the 512s were like £30 and the 256 were like £15 or something ridiculous, or maybe even £20. And I remember back then it was me, I think it was Welsh Tony, probably Brytech, ClickTech Kev, and a few others. I can't remember exact who it was. Probably Seam at Night as well, I think, possibly. And yeah, we were just pouncing on those things. I think I bought 5 of them, 4 or 5. I think I had 3 1 terabytes and 2 like 256s. They were awesome. So if we see prices of that sort of region, I'm going to be happy. Because what you got to bear in mind at the moment, we're like, realistically, real terms, like I said last Saturday, we're kind of at 20% inflation, realistically. But the government in that saying like it's somewhere between 8 and 10%, it's not. Everything at the moment is, if you look around, most things, especially like supermarket stuff or fuel, whatever, it's 20% more expensive than it was.
Or more.
At least. So if you kind of calculate in your head, right, is this a bargain right now? So say for instance, those drives do come out, TC Sunbuy for argument's sake, come out with a drive for £60 on Amazon Prime Day, that'd be a steal. Because 4 years ago, they were £60. Yes, they're older now, etc. But taking into account 20% inflation, which would knock it up to what, £72 or something, it's still a saving. So do bear that in mind. When you're looking at the prices and you're thinking, well, I only paid £150 for XYZ graphics card 4 years ago, we are under a lot of inflation at the moment. So that is having a real massive knock-on effect. So do pay close attention to that in your pricing. Don't just think, right, that is the price a year ago, blah, 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 blah. You get where I'm coming from. Now, there is actually a tool which you can use to analyse price history for Amazon, but we'll show you that a little bit later on when we get through these chats. Are they?
Carry on.
All right, well done.
Sorry. There's another one as well. I think Stuart Cleary put it on.
Okay. Jay Rich is with us as well. Hello, Jay Rich. Welly Bob. Good evening, Welly Bob, sir. How are you? Large capacity spinning rust. I need 8 terabytes or bigger. That is something I would consider as well. 8 terabyte drives in the, I guess they've got to be about 150 or less to make me want to do that. At the moment, you can get Seagate. I can't think what their top line drives are now. Iron Wolf drives. It's 4 terabytes. Normally they fluctuate between like 100 and around about £70. So they've been around recently for about 80, which is okay. So if those drop down a sizable chunk, Seagate Iron Wolf drives be worth getting. I always have issue with buying an 8 terabyte drive which costs more than 2 4 terabyte drives for kind of obvious reasons, because it just seems like a false economy, even though obviously physically it takes up considerably less space, each to their own. Personally, 8 terabyte drive, if it came in 15, maybe £20 cheaper than 2 4 terabyte drives, yeah, I think I would be probably jumping on those as well. So hopefully they'll be coming up. Lucky Man's hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I actually said that almost to somebody the other day on a YouTube comment. Yesterday was a particularly shitty day for me with the video editing stuff going on, and I'm a relatively placid person. It takes quite a lot to get me going. I am currently cleansing my liver, so there's all this stuff coming out at the moment, both mentally and bodily. So yeah, and this guy said this video could have taken 1 minute or something, and it's like, well, yeah, it possibly could have, but there are lots of things that people else want to know. So just because you understand what you need to do doesn't necessarily mean that the other 100,000 people that might watch the video don't need that extra little help. So don't be so self-centered. There's other people that want to watch this video. I don't make videos specifically for one person yet. I might do. I might shield that way. But so I said, like, basically, yeah, just get over yourself. Video is as long as it needs to be, because it's just for everybody, not just for you. And then I replied back after. I was thinking about it more. I was thinking, actually, if it's that bloody simple, why the hell are you watching the video? Why do you need to watch a video if it's that simple? So yeah, I was starting to get wrathful, which I don't normally get. Normally on the comments, even if they're like really kind of low grade questions, I try to be positive and upbeat and style while I'm typing, but it doesn't always work. So yeah, for those of you that got on the wrong side of me yesterday in comments, I do apologise. Not a lot. Lukiel666 says I have a 3200G in the system on an ASRock B450 M Pro 4. Nice little setup there, well done. Mookie MC says you can 3D print those exotic items. It seems better to use the flexible filament though, I would imagine. Aletta's with us as well. How you doing, Aletta? Lucky Man, I think I've said already. J Rich, Mark Point, Aletta, Welly Bob, yes. Chris Hartford, how you doing? Says sometimes Amazon is a couple of quid more, but buy on Prime for speed. I think it's the thing. The warranty, the support. There's very few companies, like when it comes to support with Amazon, you can literally go on amazon.co.uk or Amazon US or JP, TW, whatever, any time of the day, 24/7. Log into your account, click on help, go to contact us, click on chat with a supervisor or chat with an advisor, I think it is first of all. And you can just talk with them. It's like, this is my problem. You can type it in and talk to them, or you can click on a button to say call me, and they will physically call you on your landline or registered number, and you can discuss your problems. There are not many companies that do that these days. In fact, there's extremely few. If you can think of one which has a 24/7 support center that you can actually speak to let me know, because I'll genuinely be interested, because there ain't many.
Support without needing to have Prime.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. You don't necessarily need to be a Prime member to get that same level of service. Obviously, with Prime, you get, I think it's mostly free delivery, if not everything free. Depends. Sometimes there's some weird sellers which don't do the whole Prime thing. But yeah, normally you get free delivery on everything. So if you're buying bigger items, it makes sense because shipping costs these days are ridiculous. If you're buying cases, PC cases, which are generally quite lumpy things, if you're buying it from a shop or from a generic online retailer, best case scenario, you're looking at about £4 postage, and it's going to turn up in about 2 to 5 days. If you want a next day delivery on a case, you're probably looking, I don't know, 11 to £15, depending who you are, or at least where you are in the world, and what couriers that particular vendor has available. You might even have to spend more than that, which, for the sake of Amazon Prime, which is what, £80 a year, I think it is these days, if you're buying a couple of big items on a relatively regular basis, Prime kind of pays for itself. And if you're in any way, shape or form a business owner, or you've got a YouTube channel or whatever, you can claim it back as part of your taxes anyway, because you use it to buy your stuff and to make content, etc. So it is actually something you can claim back on tax. So yes, that's all good. Anyway, moving on.
Well, we didn't.
We didn't actually. We should do, but we didn't. We want me to do that this year. William Bodie says, Amazon Germany is full of ads. Sony put everything in, even mini disc, and they don't sell anymore. We do get a few ads on Amazon. Not hugely.
It's more sponsored.
It's sponsored posts, I suppose, yeah. But yeah, I suppose that's the same thing, isn't it? Dutch Jan says Ryzen 7 5800X Amazon, €375, alternate 315. See, that's generally here in the UK, it's the exact opposite. If you're buying a processor, Amazon is generally the best place to go, or at least it has been for a long time. Unless you're getting something like CCL where they've got their reduction bin, sometimes you'll get it a little bit cheaper, but for the longest time, especially when the Ryzen 3000 series come out, like 3100s, the 3300X, 3600s, when they were first out and they were at their kind of main prices, Amazon was still the cheapest. And I think they even got to a point where they were probably the cheapest as sales were tumbling off. They come down to about 150, 155 for a 3600, which was always a good price. And of course, you can get it. If it doesn't work, boosh, back to Amazon. Happy days. Certainly with something like a processor, I would, even if they were a little bit dearer, and I have actually done that, my 12100 that I bought recently, I think, did I buy that from Amazon? Not sure actually. That is a debatable one. But most processors, if there's not a great deal in it, I will go with Amazon. Lukiel666 says, I have Prime, watch Prime movies and TV shows, got Alexa speaker and smart bulb, $25. So I can say computer lights, computer tea, Earl Grey hot. Nice. Dave Aikens with us. How you doing, Dave? Dave actually, bless his heart. Where do I put it? Oh, I see.
drank again.
Dave brought me round something today which I've been trying to get hold of and not actually managing to buy, which I should actually pick up on Amazon on the shelves, and that is a good big old 1 litre bottle of isopropyl alcohol. That should last me a long time. So no more will I have processors with sticky residue of MX4, MX5 and various other compounds. Thank you, David.
And my pole can be cleaned.
Who's that coming from now? Let's have a look. Super chat. Matthew Day, £2 says, does anyone ever use with expert installation? Actually, there's a couple of times where I have considered that. The one time where I did think about it is when we were looking at getting a new boiler put in, and I was looking at the Hive system, and they did actually have the option for with expert installation or whatever it was, and it was cheaper than actually getting British Gas out to do it. And I was like, that might be worth thinking about. In the end, actually, we got the whole thing done by British Gas, so it's slightly a mute point, but yes, I did come close to it. I'm tempted to get some shelves and choose get expert installation, especially when I have to replace these. That'll be really handy.
Where's William's little clock?
Thank you for the, there it is.
It's the ceiling fan, isn't it, clicking the most?
I don't know. What's ticking most? Is it that? Hashtag blame Bodie. Oh. It doesn't tick anymore.
We'll have to just do our videos at these
It survived.
2 points of the day.
It's actually survived. Awesome. Oh, actually, maybe it didn't. Oh, it did. Oh, that's the dinger, isn't it?
Has it got an alarm on it?
Yeah. Do you want to hear what the alarm sounds like? That'll really upset the viewers. Actually, I think I turned the alarm off. Where is it? Is that on? Can't see, it's a bit small. Yeah, that's on. So where is the... Oh, that's adjusting the time. That's never going to work. What is the time? 9:48. Oh no, 8:48. Idiots. Where's the alarm? This is good content, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
You probably pull it out.
Ooh. It still works.
Oh, that's the same as that little pink one I had. Remember that little pink one? Remember that little pink
Snuff
one I
that.
had?
Yeah, it does actually,
I
doesn't it?
had that in my stocking from the Santa Claus.
There. Don't fall. Bad clock. Anyway, moving on. So,
Goes off tomorrow.
Ordinary Nerd says, for computer parts, expert installation seems pretty trash. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I think you're probably right there. James Brock says, have we discussed Boris the Spider yet? Or Boris the Spider that's down there somewhere? Or Boris the one with the hair in our country which doesn't have a job anymore? Well, he kind of does have a job, but just not the job that he normally has. O'Reilly says, I could not hear the clock ticking until you move it near the mic. Oh, that's good. Chris Harford, time flies. Boom. That's good. I'm going to... That was a good one. I like that. Time flies. Ordinary Dude says, my son bought a Ryzen 5600, but later returned it after I traded him a 5800X for some other gear. Good stuff. And good evening, Aletta, as well. The time is 3:48 PM. This must be shooting o'clock. Aletta likes guns. I should mention that. Where's James Strong? Yeah, that guy. O'Reilly saying, apparently Boris, the Prime Minister, was born in New York City and gave up his American citizenship because the IRS was after him for tax on the sale of a London home. I'm not sure if that's entirely true, but I do know he was definitely born in New York City. Then whether or not he gave up the American citizenship for the IRS thing, I'm not too sure, because I think the IRS can still come after you regardless, even if you give up your citizenship. I don't think that makes a difference. The IRS, once they want you, that's it. So I don't think it makes a difference. You can't denounce yourself as being a citizen and then suddenly the IRS, you no longer owe money, because otherwise...
But you can resign and keep your job.
Yeah, otherwise all Americans would just say, no, I'm not an American anymore. I'm not paying taxes, which I don't think works. Although, if you get rid of your American citizenship, can you still live in the country? Yes, I guess you can. But you'd have to have a visa of some sort. Anyway, I digress. Moving on. Right, yes, sorry, I'm digressing with myself there. Is there still stuff on the screen? Yes, there is, I do apologise. I'm rubbish at my job. Right, what was I going to say next?
You were just about to say about some little tools you could use.
Oh yeah, tools. So if anyone knows of any really good tools for examining prices on Amazon, then please do let yourselves be heard in the chat. And what I'm going to do right now is... Actually, am I going to be able to do that? Let me see if I can do that. Where's my mouse? No, actually that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do it on this screen. So I need to figure out actually how I can do something on here, which is confuddling me at the moment. I need to open up a incognito window. There we go. So in theory now, if I press the desktop button, that should be showing incognitos. Awesome. Okay, so I think do you still have the camels installed if you're incognito? I don't suppose you do you? Can you use camel? Right, camel. Jeez, camel. 3 camels basically. Yeah, whatever. So UK camel.com. You can use it in other countries as well, as far as I'm aware. Agree to all the BS. So essentially, if you go in here, you can find big price drops. So that's going to be handy on Amazon Prime Day, which is
Your toes.
fingers or toes, I suppose. Why? Camel toes. Got it. Boom. Well done, Kath. Jesus Christ, that took me a while. So you can sign up for Amazon price history things, etc., etc. So let's go into Amazon UK and let's, for example, go with a 3600 processor.
Does the plugin still the affiliate like honey?
Yes, that is the downside for me personally, that it will actually take away the affiliate links and it will replace it with their own. But what you can do is close your window, open up one of our windows again, click on our affiliate link and then go back in and it will take our link. It's a little bit of a kerfuddle.
And we thank you for doing that.
Yes, and we do appreciate all of you that actually do that. God bless you all those that sail in you. Right, so let's look at, brand AMD, let's go to AMD's page. I'll go for Ryzen processors. And let's go with the Ryzen 5. And there we go, Ryzen 5 5600X. So that is the page. So what we can do now, you can either install the actual add-on for Camel as a little plug-in, which I don't think works in incognito mode. I could be wrong. Actually, let me try it, see if it will do that. Create for account, no. Where is the add-on? Maybe it won't do it because... Oh, browser extensions, there we go. So go into there, Camelizer, you can do it on the Chrome store. Obviously, I can't do it on here because I'm in incognito mode. But generally, when you do it, it'll give you a little camel icon here by your taskbar, or sorry, your URL bar. So you can click on that and it'll show you basically this. But I'm going to show you it in a different format on their site. So you can, if you're not sure, you can do that. You can do copy, go to the camels, right click, paste, boom, hit enter, and it will find it. So you can see the price history. Go down there, so you can see what it starts out at. And actually you can see where prime sales have been before. So the last one was around about then, wasn't it? June? I think the last one. But you can tell if they've actually put it up a little bit. So as you can see at the moment, it has been as low as £189 there. It's currently at 203. So if on Prime Day it comes down to 189, you know that they're basically just repeating what price it was anyway. But inflation, taking all that crap into consideration, that is something to bear in mind. Now you can also choose by third party. So see what third party prices are. These aren't generally quite as accurate because clearly that one there was like a weird one-off where it's just dropped like a brick. And also there's been some really high prices as well. But sometimes when they track quite closely, you can get a good idea. So third-party sellers have been doing it for £196.50. Amazon Direct have been doing it for £203. So for the sake of about £7 there, potentially you get a better warranty than you would if you went with Amazon directly. So that is a kind of a typical example. I use Camel quite a lot. Also, you can use, if you want to, you can use Hot UK Deals. They're part of the Pepper network, so you'll probably find there is a version of this for those of you in the United States. So you can head over to Menu, go into Electronics, go into New, so you can see what the latest deals are.
If you post deals.
If you post deals from here onto our Discord, what you can do is, let's find you an Amazon one for example. I bet there won't be one now, typically. Why is there no Amazon deals? Because they're saving them all up for next week, that's what it is. And there's Amazon. So with these, if you go into Amazon, so if you click on here, Get Deal, you'll see what's going to happen at the top here. So see where it says there, you've got tag equals Pepper UGC03-21. So normally anything with a 21, a 20 or a 22 in there is an affiliate link. So if you went ahead then and purchased that, Pepper, the people who run UK Hot Deals and the other sites across the world, they get a part of that commission from Amazon. So if you don't want to give them money, you can click on our links if you want to and do it that way. Obviously you don't have to do that, I'm just saying. But what we can do as part of that, I wonder if actually, if I put that in with the affiliate link, whether it still works. I guess it was. Generally with Amazon stuff, all it's actually looking for, all it's actually looking for is the B0 number, which is this one here. So B07 blah 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 blah. That's basically your model number or item number. So what you can do if you want to, you can copy that, go back into the camels, and right click, choose paste, hit enter, and there you go. So it's picked up. That is essentially what most websites will track Amazon products on. All the other stuff in the URL is just padding and affiliate links and stuff. So anyway, with that you can now see the product history. So this particular watch has actually been on sale at amazon.co.uk for £80 previously and is currently retailing at $99.99. So if we look at the third party, we'll see if it's tracked similarly. So not quite, no, third party sellers have generally been kind of the same, or it looks like slightly more expensive as it's been tracking. I would say slightly more expensive there. A couple of times where Amazon have been more expensive, but on the whole I think Amazon have been cheaper. So you can find out actually on the bottom there. So Amazon lowest price $80.77, highest $179. Third party new lowest is $93.50, highest. So at times Amazon have been taking the piss completely. So anyway, I digress. But you can get a general idea there. So you can tell if the price suddenly goes up a little bit and goes down. This one likely on Prime Day can only go down really. At $99.99. Chances are it'll drop down maybe 90, maybe 80 to coincide with what it cost back at the beginning of the year. But these price histories are really handy because you can tell from this if you're being scammed or not. So you can look at the price histories, scroll down through. Camel does a really good job of this, so you can get really clear and concise information. So boom, used prices. So potentially you could have picked one of these up for $69.99. Nice. But Amazon have been the lowest generally there with £80. So take this with, again, use this as part of your arsenal. Now actually the lowest price there was back in November 28th, 2021, so that was the last time that Amazon probably had it in. So currently, yeah, third party wise, I'm not too sure actually, how does that work? Yeah, $99.99 is what it is currently, so yeah, it's not the lowest price it's been. But anyway, you get the general idea. So you can do that. You can, if you want to, you can type in things in here directly. So let's try B550 Tomahawk. Wonder if that's actually going to come up. Yeah, there we go. So there's our B550 Tomahawk board. Current price there. Third party and then stock. Actually backing up. Oh no, actually it's used price. So yeah, 126 used or 140 new. I would argue that that has been cheaper previously and is due for a drop. Yeah, so there we go. So not that long ago actually. There's April. We're currently in July, so somewhere late May, maybe June.
Risen just in time.
It's £114, which is actually a really good price for that motherboard, to be fair, and has been pretty much the lowest it's ever been, apart from there, which in January it dipped down very briefly to around about 115, 116. So again, use this tool as your ally. You can check with a third-party price as well, so if you're not sure if Amazon are taking you for a ride, again, it does seem that there has actually been, yeah, third-party have dropped down to 110, so that's pretty good. But currently third-party prices are 150 against 139. So Amazon at the moment is currently the cheapest, although they have in the past not been the cheapest. But we're not time travelers anyway. But it gives you an idea of what's been happening. You can see it's steadily tracking. It's kind of slumped a little bit here, and it's had a little bit of a resurgence there, dip there again. So yeah, what happens next is anybody's guess. Again, you got all that information there. So it's a very cool way of doing it and actually working out what the hell is going on price-wise. You don't have to do it for just these type of things. You could have it for, I don't know, what else is there? What else could we search for? Which could be on Prime Day. It's not a PC thing. Dildo. No, can't do that. Oh God, what can I think of? Oh, I know. Karcher. Let's just do a Karcher pressure washer. They're pretty. The K2 is always a bit of a good one. So currently, Karcher K2 power washer with the head attachment for doing the patios, etc. I think that's actually not a bad price at the moment. So £100 has been cheaper a couple of times there. £55? What? Oh no, £75. So that's actually a really good saving. Around about Christmas time, these are on offer. And at the moment, it's 105 for Amazon. Third-party sellers are doing it for £87. That's a really good price. Considering the lowest ever has been 75, so it's not a million miles off. And if you look after a pressure washer, that's pretty awesome. But I would say that gives Amazon the opportunity to put that in their sales. So if they do 20% off that, still brings it down to about 82, 83 pounds. So again, if you're after a pressure washer, it might be worth keeping an eye on that, or at least looking in the Amazon price history on Camel to work out if it's actually worthwhile taking a look at. So there we go. Am I back on that camera? Yes, I am. I think my suntan's getting darker. Oh dear Lord. I'll get some grief tomorrow. Right, let's go back to the chat and see what people have been saying.
What's kitchen herb scissors? Are they different from normal scissors?
What are kitchen herb scissors? Is that for cutting up weed? Before you throw it in your bong? I don't know. Kenny D says AMD GPUs are completely fine. Yeah, I would say they are. They're good. They're, in fact, probably value for money wise. If it wasn't for those pesky NVIDIA Founders Edition cards, AMD would probably have the upper hand in terms of value for money. But it seems that the Founders Edition cards have kind of started to level the playing field. I know we disrespect NVIDIA for a lot of things, but the Founders Edition cards, in terms of what you get value for money and price wise, they're pretty bloody good. I don't like the design of them, which is probably a very, very unusual thing for people to say, but I actually don't like the design of them. They look good, but that stupid 12 or 10 pin connector drives me up the wall. It's in such a stupid place. Just put it somewhere else, or wire it through to the other side just to give it a nice clean look. What's the point of having a nice clean look if you've got this dirty great power connector right in the middle of it? Pointless. Anyway, moving on. No. Where else we go? Letters come up with a classic. I guess I do now. I barely pay attention to US politics, much less the politics of other countries. It's probably for the best. Hello, Pops. Not the keyboard. She just killed the stream? No. It's okay. Get your arse out of the way. Yeah, your arse. Right, moving on. Mike P says, totally agree with regards to NVIDIA's 12-pin connector. Yes, it's pathetic, isn't it? Don't like it. Aletta says, Kitty has grown up. Yeah, she's big. John Sullivan says, yep, not a fan of politics. I'll be honest, I avoided politics like the plague through my younger life. And when I was working at the BBC, it was really best to not get involved with politics if you possibly could. But there comes to a point when the political agenda affects your life in ways that you don't want it to. And that is when most people become politically motivated. So, yeah, you kind of wait until it affects you, and then when it does, then you become politically active, I suppose you would say. Right. Captain Rovius is with us. How you doing, Captain? Riley says, is Kitty Poppy going to become a mother, or have you kept the tomboy's way? Yeah. Kath and Angel have got ideas on that.
I've got no ideas. Not my cat.
I've got other ideas. Well, yeah. I just... Yeah. Whatever. Matthew Day says, I saw that Google Home and now I might spend money upgrading Mini to the full. Have you used a display one? I haven't, no. We've actually unplugged all of our Google Homes apart from one in the bedroom, which I use on the morning to get my daily brief in, which I could probably do without, to be honest with you, but I think it's become a habit now. So I kind of rely on it a little bit when I'm getting dressed to listen to the news so I can know what to expect. And yeah, sometimes it cheers me up and sometimes it makes me mad, so yeah, depending on what it is. I don't use it for anything other than listening to the news, which I could quite easily probably ask my phone to do the same thing. So,
or just not listen to it.
Yeah. I do miss it. I do miss Google Home Mini in this room, because when I'm doing something, especially if I'm like trying to put something in a PC and I can't see, it's so much easier to say, hey Google, turn on the lights, so I can get the floodlights on so I can see what I'm doing. Otherwise I've got to put everything down, move it over, turn the light on, come back over. That is a stupid thing, but it's like, that is the whole point of home automation, that you can actually get it to do stuff like that. That's very true, Aletta. Steve Johnson says, which version of the news do you listen to? Well, not the one I really want to, but it's whatever is available on the Google app. So you can go in there and on your morning routine you can choose from various news sources. I think I've got... I think I had BBC, but I think I got rid of that. I think I got Sky News. There's a tech report. I'm not sure what company does it, but it's like a tech company or a tech, like trying to think of it, like a PC World type thing, but yeah, online sort of dude. That's about it. Mostly it's for the weather as well, to be honest with you. So I want to find out what the weather's going to be, what the highs and lows. Do I need to wear pants? That is kind of...
Is it going to be right? One
of the key things. Generally, I find with the weather, unfortunately, they find it hard to get yesterday's weather right, let alone today's or any time in the near future. So I think it's, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's become quite a... I might get rid of it. It is quite handy because we do have a diffuser for essential oils in the bedroom, and also there is a salt lamp as well. So quite often I'll tell it to turn on and off those if I can't be bothered to get out of bed, which is a bit lazy. I could do it from the app on the phone, but it is quite handy.
James is off.
Cheers, James. I'm off to a party to have some beer, chicken wings, steak tips and scallops wrapped in bacon. Peace, y'all. Have a good rest of your weekend. Well, we certainly will do. Well, I won't because I'm working tomorrow and it's going to be hot. Hot in the shop. Anyway, such is life. Kath, can you close that window?
Right up.
Yeah. Cheers, Jimbo.
Hands blowing hot air around.
Ordinary Dude says home automation would be great if it wasn't internet connected and your data wasn't always being harvested for their ad benefits. That is something which I'm really in two minds about data harvesting.
I'm not.
Now, in some respects, I think, well, it's absolutely fine, because if I'm looking at something on the internet or I'm discussing something openly, then if I see an advert for something which I'm discussing openly, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, that is genuinely beneficial to me because potentially I might want to buy it and it could actually be a good offer, a good deal, etc., etc. On the flip side, I get that there's a lot of people with data and privacy concerns because you never know what they're actually listening to, how the AI interprets it, or even if it's just a human being actually listening to it. I doubt if it is, but mostly it's done by AI and it's just like they hear keywords, so it just comes up. I know all the time, Facebook is probably the worst in the world for that. If you say anything within a few foot of your phone or any Google Home device, sometimes even think it, I don't even know how it works by that, but I'm sure they have brainwave suckers. Maybe that's what is in those Starlink satellites. Oh God, sorry, uncomfortable. Maybe that's what's in the Starlink satellites, that they're just beaming down and sucking information from your brain. I don't know, maybe they are. But for some reason, Facebook seems to know immediately what I've been discussing or what I'm looking at, all that sort of stuff, and you get those that flick through, it's like, oh, wow, a Ducky One keyboard. It's like I've only been talking about those on a YouTube video moments beforehand, and it comes up immediately. Like if I say Karcher pressure washer, for instance, Karcher pressure washer, where's my phone?
You know you've said dildos a few times.
I've said dildos as well, yeah, so I'll probably get some Wish adverts come up now. So let's see, let's go into my feed now, and I won't be showing you this, but I might be able to, I'll see if I can. So let's see, so if there is actually a Karcher pressure washer on now, I'm going to piss myself. I won't, because I've got to clear up, but no. There's something, there's some medicine of some sort. Oh, a keyboard advert, straight away. No. Oh, Royal Mail. I mentioned Royal Mail earlier, didn't I? About them changing from Hermes, so that's on there, obviously. Dr. Swatch soaps. Got mine come in, orders in. They do know me quite well, don't they? It's quite sad, really. Oh, CCL. I mentioned CCL earlier.
Patrick's in quickly.
Hi, Patrick.
He's off.
Oh, okay. Go and do some work. Wow. We were talking about tax, weren't we, just now? About claiming an Amazon tax back. There is a Intuit QuickBooks advert for doing your tax return. Wow. It's just ace. Definitely you should try this for yourself. Turn your phones and stuff on and see what's out. There's an advert.
Definitely even need to be on.
There's one for Uber. Don't need that.
Even when they're black screened, it does it all.
There's an ironic one. There's a Moonshave advert, and there's me.
A letter says her girlfriend walked past her room speaking Spanish on her phone to her sister, and the next 3 YouTube ads were in Spanish.
Wow. That is incredible. What else am I getting? I don't think I'm getting anything else. Internet, no. No Karcher. Right, let's turn my phone off, close the app, and let's open Facebook once more and see if we now get a Karcher advert. I've said it enough times now. You'd think it would come up.
Use the browser on your phone, not the app, and the likelihood you'll get those ads is nearly zero.
That's a good point, actually. See, I was always a big proponent or supporter of the Windows Phone, because the Windows Phone didn't have apps. It was rubbish for apps, but you could use a browser. And for me personally, I think that pretty much every experience that you have within an application on your phone can easily be done within a browser. And because you're doing it within a browser, all of the cookie data is stored either on the phone or in the cloud. So you don't have tons and tons of apps. Surely that was the better way to go. But clearly they wanted to data harvest the bejesus out of us, so apps is where we're at. Anyway, go. Alessa says Big Brother is watching and listening. Oh, definitely. 100%. 100%. Always the same. Thanks, Bob. Ugly Bob says, I use a Pi hole too. It's amazing. That's something actually I wanted to do, to try and do something about the advertising coming in and out. I don't think there's really any method you can do which will kind of get rid of it all entirely. But it definitely is a good thing. I would like to look at that at some point. Ordinary Dude says, virtually the only apps I've added to my phone are for video streaming accounts that I pay to subscribe, so 0 apps. Fair play to you. Rick H says, I missed my Windows 8.1 phone. Too bad it was only 3G, so I had to update. Calf's phone's still 3G. It'd be 2G if she had her way.
It would.
You would.
And that's my SIM, isn't it? Not my phone.
Yeah, Calf's phone is 4G enabled, but it's only a 3G SIM.
It would be 2G.
Yeah. Right.
George kept asking, are you using 5G, I think, at one point?
So, yeah.
And I was like, no, 3.
Where is... Did anyone else have any good suggestions for anything for finding good deals on Amazon or to price history? I'm sure there was another site. Let me have a look a minute. Amazon price history. Because it is really important that we get good deals. Because at the moment, everyone's feeling the pinch. Am I right? Everything's more expensive. For you poor sods in America, your gas prices are insane. Like, we haven't got it great over here, but we're used to getting screwed. Literally, like, all the time on fuel. But for you lot, it must be a real sharp shock to the system that gas prices are, like, off the chart. And your current incumbent in the White House is flogging all the oil to China on the cheap. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
But there is only one word you can describe America.
Yeah, if you there is only one word that you can use to describe America. I love that. That was brilliant. Right, Amazon price tracker. I'm getting off the track now.
Sky Stalker's in.
Yay! Sky Stalker! Sky Stalker, bless him. He's been through the mill recently with one thing or another. And yeah, I for one am very, very pleased to see you actually in the chat. Hopefully you're not too uncomfortable. Although if you sit for long enough watching this, you will become uncomfortable, to be fair. But it is extremely good to see you. Please, everybody, if you've not spoken or seen Bob before, not Bob, he was talking to Bob, to Sky Stalker before, please do say hello. And Sky, if Tina's watching as well, hello to Tina. Hopefully you're doing okay as well. Right, where was I? Price monitoring. So Amazon price monitoring. So I think it's just camel, camel, camel. There was another one, I'm sure. How do I track?
Go on Facebook, it'll tell you now.
Yeah. Oh, is it amzdeals.net?
I thought it was...
I was describing America again. Yeah. There is another one. If I copy that and put it into the chat. Actually, I don't know if am I allowed to post links? I guess I am.
You are.
There we go.
And also.
So you go to amazdeals.net. So that is basically the same sort of thing. So it's kind of going to do the same thing as a price tracker, blah, 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 blah. It does, yeah, the same thing. I don't think they've got a browser extension, which some people may prefer. And you can choose on the side, so you've got amazon.com, deaubrca.co.uk, FRIN, TRES, MX, and IT. Amazon.com MX, is that Mexico, I guess? Not heard of that one before.
Alex might know.
Right, anyway, that's enough of that. So I think that is it. I'm sure there was another one before which used to be able to track. Another one. People used to always recommend honey, but I don't like using honey at all. And actually, let me know if you are someone who uses the honey extension on a regular basis. Do you find it actually finds any codes at all? I got to the point where I tried it on
UK,
every, in the UK. Please let me know around the world. But I found with honey, especially on Amazon, no matter what I clicked on, after the first probably maybe 3 or 4 months of actually having the honey extension in my browser, I didn't find any discounts at all, and it just kept on saying the same thing. You already have the best price, which is like, okay, so I've wasted my time now, and now you've taken the affiliate commission on it. Thanks. Letter says, I tried honey, but it didn't do anything for me. Yeah, I think I've saved maybe, I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm sure I did a video about it, and I think it saved me like £5 or £7 or something. It wasn't anything, because I wanted to do a video on it. I genuinely wanted to do a honey video, because it seemed like a great idea, but I never found it gave me a discount on anything that I could actually record. And I got to the point where I actually had OBS running on every time I was checking out, in the hope that it would actually catch a honey discount in live action, but it never did.
Trusty search assistant for Amazon.
Oh, thank you, trusty search assistant. That's a good one. What I'll do is, or you can, if you're wanting to, you out in viewerland, if you know of any really good sites which will actually allow you to do Amazon deal tracking, post them in the comment section when the video's finished, or has gone back to being like non-live or video on demand or whatever they call it. Post the links in the video description. If they don't show up, it's because they're waiting for us to authorize them, because they've got links in, because that's part of YouTube's security thing now on their platform. So if you post a link, a URL, we'll have to kind of put it on there after and authorize it. But please do, if you find any really good links, because it's going to help everybody, because there's going to be people that are going to come and watch this video discussing Amazon deals and wanting to know how they can find deals, where's the best prices, etc. So in order to help them and the wider community, if possible, even though it's only a very small fraction of the community, but the more we can help people, the better. Joe says, hello Mike and Kath, how you doing, Joe? I have had a couple of times where I saved on some deals with honey, but most times not.
What country is that?
Yeah, what country are you in, Joe, if you don't mind us asking? Skystalker says, great to see you, kind persons. Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. William Bodie says, honey don't really work here in Germany. Yeah, I'm finding the same.
Everyone sort of the same, really.
Yeah. Kenny D's same as us. Got on one code a year ago, never got on one since. Rick H never got any discounts with honey. Stuart Cleary there, trusty search assistant for Amazon. Nice one, Stuart. Bless you for that. Captain Rovius says, made more on top cashback. Yeah, that's not a bad deal, actually. Top cashback, that's pretty good. Mike P, honey never worked for me. Someone said, did you take the lid off? That's Glenn. Did you take the lid off? Yeah, if you take the lid off the honey, find this is a lot tastier. Oh, that's it, yeah. Captain Robert says, PC Part Picker used to have a price tracker and deal finder, but it seems to have disappeared of late. I thought that was the case. Yeah, I think if you scroll down, it will show up eventually. It's not particularly well optimized and not really laid out very well, so you can't quite know. It's just a load of lines. You can't really work out what's going on. Ordinary Dude says, one of my credit cards is offering the same kind of honey stroke Amazon deals, that kind of thing.
Ours used to cash back.
Alessa says, be like a bee and always eat your honey. Yes, we do. Local honey. Very good for you. Stops you getting hay fever. Not had hay fever this year, which, considering we're in July, that's not bad going. Normally by now I would be sneezing, itchy eyes, all that kind of stuff. Although saying that, I have got a bit of a sore throat, but I think that's something else entirely. That's still ongoing, so work in progress. So I can't think of any other things now. There's lots of other ones like on Chrome. There's lots of extensions like shopping assistant and stuff. I would say realistically, if you're using Chrome or any extension, the camel is probably the better one to go for, in my personal opinion. But like I said, please do let me know in the comments. Now, speaking of comments, actually, something I mentioned a little bit earlier on, which something I'm kind of looking forward to. I genuinely want to try an Intel 12600 or 700 processor. I did get the bargain motherboard a little while back, as some of you, if you're regulars, will know. The Asus Z690-P Prime Pro D4, whatever it is. I think I want an Intel processor. I'm not sure, but I think I do. I have concerns about efficiency, because I know they do run pretty hot. But on the flip side, when they're idling, they sip power, which is something actually one of our Discord members, we were discussing today, that my particular Ryzen processor, even when Windows is pretty much idling, the frequency is still very high, even though it's not actually doing anything. So it would kind of be nice to have some efficiency cores to allow Windows to just basically tick on doing its own thing at a very, very low power usage. Potentially as well, because I'll be able to render videos faster in theory with an Intel processor, I'm using more power but for less time. So kind of it could equate and it could work out the same. I'm not entirely sure. My problem is I don't want to spend an absolute ton of money on a processor that isn't going to do what I want it to do. And the only way to know if it's going to do what I want it to do is to do a completely fresh install of my system on the new platform, which also fills me with so much dread, because it's just such a long task to do. I have been looking for a case recently. I do fancy a Corsair 4000D. I bought a white one for George for his birthday a little while back, and it was a really good case. I'm kind of torn between a 5000 and a 4000D. I'm not sure. There was one available locally for quite cheap, but I haven't managed to get it, so maybe that's something I could try and do. But I am seriously considering doing another build in another case and just starting my video editing PC life again with Intel and just see how that goes. But I know it'll end up just being my daily driver PC. So I have currently got a PC which I use just for benchmarks at the moment, which is a really luxurious thing for me to have at the moment. So potentially I might sell that and then transfer my existing video editing rig to my test bench and then have the Intel system for doing editing. I don't know, I'm very confused what to do. Let me know what you think. I need help.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, does anybody else have any questions? Because we are way past the first segment anyway. So we've talked about deals. Hopefully I've given you enough information now. So if you're not sure, join us on Discord or ask me in the comment section, community tab. If you see something which you think is a deal and you're not sure, let me know. I won't take the piss out of you. I will give you all my honest opinion and possibly a affiliate link in the process. Anyway, moving on. Mark Point says I have 2 Intel CPUs and 2 AMD CPUs. You lucky boy. Man, person, gender assumption being your name's Mark. I think that's a given. If you're a lady called Mark, I don't think that works. Maybe in some countries it might. I don't know. Here, keep digging, Mike. Keep digging. Anyway, moving on. Mark also says, I want to get 2 more AMD CPUs, but up in the air about new rumours about a 5600 X3D and a 5900 X3D. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the X3D chips. For most tasks, they're going to be snappier, definitely.
For Fun RC's going.
For Fun RC, thanks for joining us. Lucky Man says, only difference is size that matters. 4000D, my daily. Yeah, I do quite fancy a 4000D. They are nice cases. I'm not too sure if it's quite big enough though, which concerns me. And they are quite expensive, but there is one cheap local which I might get. Mike P says, my daughter's PC is a 12600, no efficiency cores but runs well. I think I'd have to go for a 12700, I think, to get those efficiency cores. Which makes sense, because my PC is literally on for probably at least 12 hours a day. Potentially even more than that. Bruce Cox, what would be a good cheap GPU to replace a 5700G? At the moment, I would say probably, well, it depends on what you want to spend. The RTX 2060 in the UK at the moment is easily available for £200 brand new. If you want to go down the used market, maybe a GTX 1660, maybe 1660 Super, quite often anywhere between 150 and 200. If you don't want to spend quite as much as that, but still have an improvement over the 5700G, 1650 Super or RX 580, that would probably be a good shout. Virang87 says hello, how you doing?
They asked any 55-inch TVs on Prime Day.
Any 55-inch TVs on Prime Day? I would say arguably yes. Hisense would be one to keep an eye on. Hisense TVs, you said monitors then, they are generally very good. I would highly recommend Hisense. They often come in at very good pricing as well. So if you don't want to splash out on kind of like your LGs, your Samsungs, that sort of thing, then Hisense do offer some really good alternatives at actually very good pricing. But yeah, that is probably one of the other things. Prime Day sales, more TVs generally tend to be more of a Black Friday thing, as a rule. In fact, I'll have a quick look. I'm sure if you didn't say what country you're in, to be honest with you, but
Hisense are basically LG first gen panels and a great value for money.
yeah, Hisense are good stuff, and they're almost always cheap. So let's have a look for a Hisense. Oh, if I could type, it would be good.
I'm getting some new fingers for
Yeah, I want some new fingers for Black Friday. No, the other one.
Prime Day.
Oh, there we go. Hisense 55-inch smart 4K Ultra HD TV, £309.
US.
Ah, right. So that'll be what, $400, I guess, give or take. But yeah, Hisense are available around the globe. Even Linus Tech Tips have done reviews on Hisense screens before now. But yeah, I would look out for them. Try and avoid, if you can, there is a manufacturer which uses Vestel panels. Mostly you're going to be looking at things like some of the cheaper Bosch, LG, Bluepunk or Blaupunk or Blue Spot, whatever you want to call them, Polaroid. Lots of those kind of supermarket type brands, they use Vestel panels and they're pretty awful. They're fine, like if you just want to watch TV and you're not really bothered, absolutely fine, they're cheap and cheerful. But if you want something which is kind of the next step up, Hisense is a really good one to go with. There you go. So Virang, hopefully you got some excellent information there. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, because we're about 20 subscribers away from hitting 75,000, I think, isn't it? Is it 75,000? Kath's going to check now, check the scores on the doors. Did I say, yeah, I said 20, didn't I? We were at 980?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 more subs. What am I looking there? Camera's there. 20 more subs and we will get to 75k. That's an awesome number. Mental. Right. Mike P says, my gaming PC is a 4000D in white. I love it. Excellent stuff. Rich says, 4000D at the right price. Yes, please. Mike P's also saying, I have a Hisense TV at my home out in Thailand. Very good TVs. Aletta says, proof I like big things. I used to work at a rock quarry driving a Caterpillar. You don't get much bigger than that. You don't. Oh, here we go. nakedhd.com. That's YouTube's algorithmy thing working well again. Jay Rich says TCL are producing good value TVs right now. Yeah, they're not bad actually. Lucky Man says soon be getting your YouTube handbag mic. Yeah, probably will be. There's not far off. Not far off. Actually, a little preview of, before we kind of wrap things up, because we will be in the next 20 minutes or so. Actually, feel free to keep on asking your questions, please do, but some previews of things which will be coming up for review in next week for patrons, probably. If I can pull my finger up my ass long enough to actually make some videos, and if the PC will actually let me edit them. Well, it will let me edit them, it just won't let me read it. Do you know what? Yesterday, I actually got to the point where I figured I was going to have to cry, but the other thing was going to be literally play back my Premiere timeline, full screen, with OBS running, and literally just screen capture my thing. That's how bad things were getting. I refuse to use DaVinci Resolve before anyone says it, because they have just the same problems. It's just you don't pay for them, and there's less support. Anyway, what else do we get? Oh yeah, did I show you those last week? I did, I think, didn't I? They come in last time. Betron headset. Did I show this last time? I can't remember if I did or not. These are the Betron Blue HD headphones. I'm sure
They came on Sunday.
They might have come on the Sunday. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, those are coming up next week. Those are super cheap for what they are. Over-ear headphones, USB, or Bluetooth, obviously, wireless and all that stuff. Super bass sound. I'm all about that bass. Yes.
With your YouTube thing up your ass.
Yeah.
Can you only view 1440p on monitors rather than TVs?
14, yeah, kind of. Yeah, if you're on a TV, it's unlikely that it's going to have a setting for 1440p. Most TVs will do like upscaling. So there's a setting in the menu of most TVs where you choose your output. So it's either full, 1:1, or sample. Sometimes they say zoom. They might say something else. So if you've got a 4K TV and you plug in a 1080p device to it, it'll upscale 1080p to 4K. And the same happens with 1440p. 1440p is still a 16:9 aspect ratio. It's just got more information than 1080p. So it makes the upscaling a little bit easier, in fact. Some TVs will just not accept it. So you have to either knock your signal down to 1080p or try and raise it to 4K. Depends a lot on the TVs, but most modern ones will do that absolutely fine. What else do we get? I'm trying to think what else we got this week, which... It's actually been quite a quiet week, I think. Oh, Streamplify. If any of you are interested in streaming or setting up a stream, then
Do you want it all?
yeah, please. These might be very handy. So Streamplify are a German company. All is designed in Germany, and they do a bunch of streaming stuff. So if you're looking for like Elgato type stuff, but you don't want to pay Elgato prices, they have basically all the same sort of stuff. So ring lights, a webcam, a microphone with a boom, etc. So this is the whole thing of this is
Bingo removers.
Bingo wing remover. So there's a, oh god, there's a
It certainly is, isn't it?
14-inch ring light on a stand. That thing's heavy. It's up to 36 watts and at 2,250 lumens. So multiple colours, adjustment, etc. So you've got that. That is to go around your camera normally. You've got this one which you can use for smaller cameras if you want to, like little mobile phones. You can stick it in the middle there and film through the middle. That's pretty cool. A little bit more compact. I'm actually planning, this is going to be going up here. So that's going to be, I've got an overhead camera, which is currently there. But when I do the overhead shots, normally they're really dark because of the angle of the existing lights. So by having the ring light on there, it's going to illuminate everything below it. So that is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. That's USB powered, so I need to run a USB cable up there to power that. This one is very cool indeed. It's a bigger version of it on its own tripod. This is actually mains powered, but it's also got two USB ports on the back and also 3 hot shoes, or cold shoes I guess you'd call them, but hot shoe type mounts. So you can put your camera in the middle, maybe put a microphone on one side and maybe some other device on the other. But you can also power them, so there's 2 USB outputs on there, so you can power your camera and whatever else, microphones, that sort of stuff if you want to from it. So I'm genuinely looking forward to using that and setting that up, because the lighting, I'm sure that light is going to be as bright as the main studio light, if not brighter. Because I'm pretty sure those are 30 watts or 35 watts. And that's 36 watts. So it's going to be kind of the same. Webcam, excellent webcam. Been using this today. Video's done on this, done that today, so that'll be edited. Not tomorrow because we're doing stuff, but I'm working. So Monday, I'll probably edit that Monday morning. So you might even find on Tuesday in your inbox, if you're a patron, this will be available and ready to watch, possibly. Not too sure. But yeah, it is part of a kit. So you can, if you want to, buy the whole lot together, which is called the Streamplify Pro Kit. If you want to, you can buy the individual components. So the webcam is like £50 to £60, 1080p, 60 FPS, privacy shield, blah, 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 blah. The quality on it is phenomenal. It literally is phenomenal quality. When I plugged it in, I was using it. I was watching it on the screen there, and I was like, wow, that is sharp. Now, I'm used to using my Lumix camera, which is a 4K camera, and it's an expensive camera. It's not the sharpest, but it is an expensive camera, so it gets pretty good results. And I looked at the quality of this, and I was thinking, considering this costs like a 20th of what my film camera costs, that's mental. It genuinely is mental. But anyway, so that is good. If you're using, or you're thinking about buying something like the Logitech C920, C922, C925, any of those, then this is better. Same sort of price, but this is better. The only one which I'd say which is going to be inherently better than this from Logitech is probably going to be the Brio, because that's a 4K camera. But that Brio, but that is considerably more expensive, about 120, so double the price. But yeah, you may not want that. But yeah, excellent camera. Autofocus on it as well. The autofocus actually works, and works really, really well. And last part of the kit is this, the microphone. So this is a RGB microphone, because obviously RGB. 2 audio modes, so you've got cardioid and a... Actually, cardioid... How can you have 2... Oh, stereo and cardioid. No, hang on. I'm going to have to read that now, because I'm not entirely sure. How can you have a cardioid mic with 2 patterns? Doesn't actually say. Right, I'm going to have to investigate that. With a cardioid, I suppose you'd have... Yeah, you could have slightly different patterns on it. Anyway, you've got headphone outputs on it. It's USB, RGB, blah, 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 etc. But it also comes with an arm as well. That's something which is actually quite rare. You don't often get that. USB mics like this actually coming with a proper boom arm. Normally you have to buy that separately. And also you get the nice little shock mount. So you've got a fully rubberized shock mount there for putting the microphone in. So for me, if I'm raging away on the desk, it's not going to go through. The smell of new plastics. It is off-gassing like a good one. So you get 2 USB type C connections, which I'm not entirely sure why you'd want 2 USB type C connections. That confuses me a little bit. I'm going to have a look at this a little bit closer now. This is the first time I'm seeing this, by the way, so yeah, you're seeing this the same time as me. So why would you have... Right, so the USB type C goes in the bottom. Painful if you don't do it right. Ooh, nice little notchy volume dial. Although it's a permanently rotating one, so that's annoying. That is annoying. I like a dial which stops, so you know that's 100%. It has got a line on it, but still. What's that? There's a volume, RGB button, mute button, headphones you can plug in. Why is there 2 USB cables? I don't know why there's 2 USB cables. It's not like one of them. Oh, dipshit. One of them is USB Type C to Type C. The other one is Type C to Type A. They could have put an adapter in. That would save me being confused. I've got a pop shield as well. integral pop shield. I kind of like the way they've done that. So that locks in. With the RGB going on that, I can imagine that being pretty cool. It's actually not as big as I thought it was going to be either. That's what she said. So you stick all of that into here. Very nice. I want to see what the actual... I'm bound to. So there is an arm as well. So you've got your 1/4 inch. It's not a quarter, is it? I'm trying to think what the thread is on there. It's not a quarter, is it? That's what you have on webcams. Microphone one's generally a little bit bigger. So that you can screw onto there. Put that onto your desk. There's a clamp included. So actually, that's quite a nice clamp. That is some of the things that you notice. Like, you can pick up these clamps cheap as chips. Sorry about the rustling. You can get them very, very cheap. But because they're cheap, they're kind of rubbish. Whereas that is that's pretty solid. So that's metal, but actually plastic coated. And you've got a nice rubber dampener in there to clamp that. It's like the old vices at school when you used to do woodwork and stuff. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to try that. Needs a bit of WD-40, I think. Or a bit of cuprinol, like my head.
Bit of alcohol.
Yeah. Put some rubbing alcohol on my head. That's a nice clamp, actually, considering, like, normally I use, I'm trying to think, like a cheap IKEA, like an IKEA one. Clamp it on where?
That shelf.
On there?
Yeah.
I'll clamp it on there. I put that up.
Might hold it onto the wall better.
I put that bloody thing up. That's. I'm gonna do it now.
Not only did you put it up, you cut it in half.
This shelf was actually a lot deeper, but I did actually cut it down
Oh, we did make a video.
and made a video. Yeah,
Got a lot of views at one point, didn't it?
it did actually. People used to always message me saying, "How did you do that? How did you make that shelf slim?" It's like, well, there's a video on it. They're like, wow, that's impressive. It's not. Genuinely, it's not. Come on. There we go.
Clock.
Mine's William's clock. That's, try saying that 5 times. Right. I'm going to move it. It's still working. Still hear it ticking.
I knew you'd do that. That whole shelf's going to go in a minute.
I know. This is, look at it. Look at that shelf. I put that up. That's probably, yeah, that's...
It's because it's got all that cardboard stuff inside, isn't it? And it hasn't got the proper hole.
It is a hollow shelf and basically is too hollow. I was a bit too good for being darn good. There we go. Anyway, you get the idea, don't you? So you can put your microphone in, connect it all up. I'm not sure how that works actually. I'm sure there must be a cap for that. Is there something I'm missing here? You'd imagine that would screw into there. How does that work? There we go. I found my answer. So that goes... Oh God, I wish that hadn't fallen out. So if that is a compression fit, so that goes that way round.
Have you ever considered going on the Krypton factor?
I don't think I should. I really don't.
I want to see you. What was it that you started to go into that cami net thing?
Camo net, yeah.
What else?
Can't remember.
They had to go up that. Really
Do you know what? I should probably
bit at
read the
end.
instructions for this.
I'd love to see you do that.
Actually, no, that does stay in there. I don't think it's going to.
Actually, Bob's put the link to shelf porn.
There we go. Shelfporn.com. Mandatory. So there we go. If you're doing like a radio setup thing, you could do this quite easily. Although clearly I've just put this on completely around the wrong way because I don't normally have a boom setup here. I'd have it on my left hand side so you didn't see it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. you can have a bit higher. And if you wanted to kind of have it out of the shot.
And well, is it?
No, that shelf's not good, is it? Who said put it on the shelf? Whose idea was that? I think that might have been
I
you.
didn't know you were going to put the whole thing up together.
There we go. So if you imagine if you're filming normally, you could crop it out so your head's not in the shot.
Or you could have it down a bit lower, it might look like hair.
Actually, I could almost put that out of the shot now, couldn't I? Stop it. You're making me nervous. Does that stay in the shot? Yeah. You can obviously you can see the arm, but the microphone is just there, so that would be quite handy. Is that a button on the top? No, it's not. I need to do some research on that, but yeah, interesting. I generally don't stream. But, well, if you call this streaming, but I don't stream as in game streaming, which is what I guess this is sort of set up for. So with the microphone and also the webcam, that sort of thing. Yeah, you get the general idea with that. So the light is the thing which I'm most interested in, because the light is actually very, very cool. I'll get the little one out just quickly.
Thank you, big one.
Dave Aiken, 5000X slush fund. Thank you, sir. The 5000X would be nice. It would be very nice. Oh dear. Why do I always try and do something technical when there's a super chat or something? It's stupid of me. Thank you, David.
Why don't you hang it on your thing and it could look like a little halo?
Halo, halo. Right, so this is the Light 10. Now it gets its name from, you'll never guess how. It is a light and it's 10 inches, believe it or not. Just about big enough to put your face through. But it comes with actually some pretty cool stuff. So there is a tripod to actually mount it on. And this is quite clever what they've done here. So you open up the legs and there's this little twist section here. So if you twist it around a couple of degrees, it locks into a different position, so you can have it a little bit higher. So that's one position. Twist it around again, and then it's a little bit wider. So if you've got a heavier camera or something that's mounted on there, then you can do. This bit, ball grip, or ball mount, or ball head, just on a twist grip. So you can just lock that into position. That is awesome. The legs can be made bigger, so you push that in. Those all extend out. So it gives you a little bit more of a stable base. Next part of it is obviously the light. So let's attach that. I love this stuff, I really do. This is actually genuinely interesting for me because lighting is such a really hard thing to get right for, I think, quite a lot of people, to be fair. So now we've got our USB connection, so you can plug that into the mains or whatever, which I'm going to try and get Kath to do now. Throw that over there. I think I've got a spare USB power outlet there. So the next part, obviously, you can, if you want to, just put your camera like how it is now, so you could shoot straight through it. So you have your ring light. Obviously, generally you'd have it a bit further back, so you can probably still, yeah, you can still see that. So if we move it a bit further back, and there we go. So no one would be any the wiser that there is a light there. And in fact, actually, when Kath turns it on, we can adjust it because there's a little remote control here. So adjusting the brightness and also the color temperature, of which there's a couple of different color temperatures to do. So that is very good. But if you want to, if you don't have like a normal desk mounted camera and you want to use something a little bit more obtainable, then you can just grab your smartphone, and it comes with this little adapter. So you can screw that in there, put that screw on there, pop that over. You can tell I've actually used this before because I'm moderately confident with it. Sorry, Kath, can you plug in that USB cable for me?
Into where?
Into the wall. Now, the wall socket, I will say, doesn't have a great deal of power, and it's currently powering our camera as well. So it may flicker on screen. So there you go. You've had fair warning that potentially there may be flicking or flashing images. It isn't to do with the light itself, it's just the fact that it's not got enough power going to it. So before you see it. So that'll be the kind of the deal. So let me turn this on now without damaging retinas. So that is the on button there. So yeah, it's flickering a bit, so let's turn that. There we go. So there you go, there is your basic camera setup. So you can have your mobile phone recording and it will light you up. So that should be, I'm not sure, can you still see that? Yeah. So let me get rid of the...
It says, you make me want that setup.
Mark, you know you want it. Bob says, ah, my eyes. Feels like for me. I'm right in front of the bloody thing. Right, so let's stick that there.
He finds it hilarious to shine it in my eyes each time. Anything.
So clearly this obviously isn't the final setup or anything, but just to give you an idea of what you can do. So that is the colour temperature. That's not working particularly well because it's flickering a little bit. So
should I turn the other light off?
No, hang on. Let's turn that down a bit.
What brand was it?
Streamplify. Actually, Kath, can you unplug the camera?
What's that, the other USB?
Yeah, because I think it's just why.
I can't remember which one is which now.
There we go. So now we've got proper power going to it, so now it's not flickering. So that makes things a little bit easier. So obviously the colour balance now is completely wrong. I've just realised I've still got that message on the screen. So there is your lighting setup. So you can choose your colour. There is a kind of, I would call probably a little bit colder than daylight. And there's your warm, and there's your kind of somewhere in between. So I think that's probably like 5500. That one is probably about 3.5, like kind of tungsten bulb color. And the next one is somewhere kind of in between, so probably about 4700K. And you can adjust the lighting. So that is on its brightest setting. You can gradually take it down. I think it's about 10 levels. So that is at its lowest level at the moment. And if I turn it off, it does make that's on the lowest setting, and that actually does make a bit of a difference in my opinion. Very subtle. But then you don't necessarily want to be blasted out, so yeah, it just makes it a little bit warmer. Anyway, you can set it up. Actually, Kath, turn that big light off. Sorry, I know you did say that earlier.
So you don't need to Google when you got me.
So you could, if you want to, use this. This is what a lot of people, especially like people who do makeup videos and stuff like that, where you look at them and you can just see the halos in their eyes because it's so reflective. So if you want to, you can do all that kind of stuff with it. That is essentially what it's for streamers, to get it right up close and personal.
Doing that.
What's that?
Your face doing that.
Doing what? There's the thumbnail. Anyway. You get it.
Does it remember the settings when you shut it off?
Good question. Kath, turn off the thing.
Turn this one on first, don't
Actually, I don't think it will do.
Turn this one on first?
No, leave that as it is, that'll be right. So
just
just unplug the USB briefly and plug it back in. And then if I turn the power on. No. I don't think it did it? So, no, it doesn't appear to remember the settings. So that's gone to... Actually, was it on bright white before? I'm not sure.
I think it was on yellow, wasn't it?
I think it was on that one. Anyway, that's enough of that. So if you...
wrong way.
Kath's turning the lights on. Stuart Cleary says, I hope this doesn't mess up your lighting demo. No, it's absolutely fine.
How many fan headers does it have?
It has absolutely zero fan. If it had a fan header, I'd definitely buy one. Because I could do with cooling down, to be fair. Right.
You might have a speaker header in a minute, though.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that was there.
You better take that off now, because you're going to smash that shelf off and it'll be my fault.
I will. Yeah, I'll be like, hello, Streamplify. Hi, it's Mike. I might have a little bit broken your stuff. Is there any chance you could send me another set?
But on a plus.
And possibly another shelf.
But on the plus, William Bode's clock is safe.
Yeah, your clock is safe now. Nick Barnes says, can tell the difference to your normal lighting. Well, that's the idea. Obviously, normally with a camera, when you're doing lighting, there's a thing called AWB or auto white balance, or if you're a professional, you'd go in and set it manually. So if I turn those lights on and set it to the kind of like the slightly warmer white, you turn the camera settings to that particular light frequency to balance all the colours so they look natural. But yeah, you get the ideas. It's not rocket science, but for some things, for streaming, if you imagine most people when you're streaming a game, there's a tiny little picture of you down in the bottom corner of your screen, which basically no one can really see anyway. And I think a lot of people actually probably make more of it than what it actually needs to be. You don't necessarily need all that cool lighting, but I guess it's one of those things, it's a YouTuber thing, isn't it? It's like if you have a LED or some sort of leaf IKEA plant, it's like YouTuber confirmed, isn't it? It's one of those things.
But our first video, what did we actually use?
I don't know.
Builders light.
We did. Yeah, our first YouTube video.
Actually.
I can't remember if it was the first or second. It might have been.
I don't know if we used a light on the first one.
Where's the box? There's.
But was it the second or third?
Yeah,
one?
we actually used a proper 100-watt halogen builder's lamp. The ones that you see, you know, like the yellow, yellow metal frames with the halogen bulb and the little handle on the top, so you can angle them. So when you're doing decorating and stuff.
Rechargeable one.
Yeah.
And the batteries went flat.
Rechargeable, and the batteries went flat halfway through,
But
or
we kept it
not
up.
quite halfway. And it's still
Really straight in, wasn't it?
yeah, we left it in the video as well. That is still in the video,
Yeah.
so you can actually see that. Why does that not? Right, let's pack this away.
It's a monitor, wasn't it? I gotta find
It was George's monitor for his birthday. I remember it relatively clearly. It's all relative. Where did that go? I am losing my mind. Did that go in there? Guess it did.
It's so cringy, isn't it?
I'm going to have to watch this video back now to see how I actually got all this out of the box. Captain Roy says, Mike, do a video on bathroom sealant. Christ, I'm knackered. I think I almost did. Minthawk, good evening from Athens. How you doing? Where does this even go? Why did I get this out of the box, Kath? Why did I possess myself to do this?
You did it in the dark. No, you didn't do that one, did you?
How does that fit in there? That lived in there originally, I'm sure it did. But it doesn't go back in. Oh, I've got to tighten that up, haven't I? That's why. It's getting warmer.
Open the window, there's no light.
Go on then, open the window. As long as you don't try and escape again.
Don't escape.
Was that in there?
Still shackled to the sink.
That was in there. Where did that bit go? That goes in there. Right, but it does now. USB cables went in there. I think we're on to a winner. There's the quick start guide, which I should have read. There is the Streamplify. Right.
Never put in the quick start guide, I put it back in the box.
They don't do they? Mike's reboxing reviews and how to. Right.
Maybe you should do backwards one day.
Or put everything back in the box.
Yeah, go backwards through it.
I've just done that. Oh, so can you plug the camera back in and unplug that one, please? Team Drift Nation video says, blink twice if you're held against your will, Kath. She just blinked once.
I did twice, but I was behind the monitor.
Captain Robert says, cue Benny Hill music and Kath legging out the window with Mike in pursuit. I actually did that once. I got actually proper pissed right up, and we're having an argument about something, and I said, I'm leaving, I'm going, and I climbed out the window and then fell over the fence at the back of the garden.
Okay, but the back door was like...
The back door was open. I could have used the back door.
But you went out the window and you climbed over the fence,
It was icy.
and it was icy and you couldn't get back over.
Oh dear. Things we do for humour. I thought it was funny at the time.
You didn't, you were horrible. I didn't even notice you'd gone because I was being sick.
Yeah, Kath was in there puking in the sink. Matthew Day says, my screen switched to evening mode, but YouTube does not do a very good job of honouring it. Captain Robert says it was the principle, Mike, we all understand.
think I was upstairs doing 6. I didn't know why you climbed out the window.
Standard settings is F-Lux better. F-Lux. I'm confused. What is F-Lux? Is that a thing? Which I should know, which I don't. Oh, tripod, that's what goes in there. Blimey, it's getting more. What is the actual temperature at the moment? What does it say on the lies on the screen?
On the screen?
Yeah.
On
The Microsoft thing of lies.
18C.
18 degrees? No way, it's hotter than 18 degrees.
Is it on this thing up here?
It's like a million. I bet it's about 26 in here, 25, 26?
27.9.
27.9 degrees Celsius currently in our little room. It's 18 degrees outside. I'm actually going to get that to show you because I'm not lying. Kath might have been, but I wasn't.
On the right, it's 25.2.
There we go. It's never going to focus on that now, is it?
See, poor me, I'm in the hotter area.
Let's put it in that. I'm going to pick it up. Come on, you stupid camera. Let's press the set button. Hey, there we go. So you're 27.9 degrees Celsius. And that's with the fan on.
And they asked, do you have a fan?
I have a fan that's spinning. Actually, if I... There's the ceiling fan.
That's the clicky clacks.
That's what's clicking. And there is my bodged up overhead camera rig. One day I'm going to do a studio tour, but you've probably seen it now. Right? That bit of skirting board that is actually bridging that bit of ceiling, that's from my boss. He was going to throw that out. It was a piece of scrap wood. So it's like, I can use that. So I attached that pole to it, got a massive long HDMI cable, which is going up from the camera, along with a power cable, along the top there, then along there, along that wall, down the side of that shelf, and down to the sockets which are behind there. Which is where I live, sometimes. Is that going to be in human detection? One area plus, there we go. That might work now. Oh dear. Do you know what, I only stood up to get a drink. I haven't had a drink since I've sat down and started jibber jabbering. Cup of tea's cold. Oh shit, I nearly spilled it.
Oh, they thought you lived in the garden. This is our dining room. Not many wives would let you put skirting on the ceiling, you know.
This was our dining room. This is our dining table. It still is. Christmas Day is the only time it gets used officially as a dining table.
In the day.
And that's only because Mikesunboxinglimited.com is closed on Christmas Day, so we can use it as that without affecting our tax benefits, of which we get none.
And it's also that table turns around to be a cat's bed overnight.
It does, yeah.
With William Bode's big fluffy blanket.
Get the thing.
Blanket.
After shooting hours, this table becomes the cat's bed with a blanket which was kindly sent from William Bode. So this gets unfolded to protect the cats from scratching the bejesus out of my desk.
It's all cosy.
I don't care about it being cosy, I'm protecting the desk.
I'm putting it to be cosy.
I'm only joking, I love those cats really. Well, some of them. Lucky Man says I've got a fan on direct to my back, still 25 degrees Celsius. It's very humid tonight, very humid indeed. I will.
The wood burner, see how hot we can put it in it.
We'll put the wood burner on and see if we can get swatted by the police for growing cannabis plants because it's just showing up as one big heat source.
If it probably would, wouldn't it? Because we've got all that
It probably would.
in the loft thing.
Stuart Cleary says I'm sitting here topless with the fan on. Lovely.
And me.
Kath is as well. Shane, actually, if I angled that round a little bit, you could probably see the Bakewells.
Erin.
I'm not saying any more because I'll get banned. Right, moving on.
Not mentioning no monkey.
O'Reilly says, I would not be able to game in those temps, Mike. No. Gaming at these temperatures, this is hotter than it's been in this room for a little while.
It's because the window is shut with the lights on.
Yeah. The airflow in this room is rubbish because the windows are over there behind the camera. The door or the exit to the room is over there as well, like 90 degrees opposite of it. So this part of the room stays really, really warm. That bit where Kath sits, anywhere between there and the door, is generally a little bit cooler.
But you made me swap sides of the room.
I did.
Because you said it was warmer over here.
Well, it's by the radiator, so if we actually add the heating on, it would technically be warmer. But Kath don't want to put the heating on, so freeze.
You've had the heating on all this time.
The heating actually came on the other morning.
It came on every morning.
It's quite disappointing.
Just not up and starting to notice.
Oh, let's stick that back in there. Alexa says it's 28 degrees C here in Ohio. Same here, same here. Although it's supposed to be 18.
No welly bob.
Welly bob, no. It just pushes. It's just. I think it's because we got it around the wrong way at the moment because it's spinning that way. Because I've got it set so that it pushes the hot air back down rather than circulating. I don't know. Those ceiling fans are pointless, really.
Should we turn it off?
Yeah, go on. It'll probably get a little bit cooler.
Which one is it?
That one. There you
50-50. Is that it?
Yeah.
I always do it wrong.
Alexa says I love cats too. They're quite good with hot sauce. I'm not laughing. It's good. Matthew Day says beware of direct fans. I gave myself a ripped neck with one blowing on one side.
I got a bad neck.
I think that's probably what Kath's got it. Yeah.
I haven't had the fan on.
David Aitken says, I'm never going to be able to look at you in the same way again. Team Drift Nation video says, my PC fans are kicking in. I think it's gaming. Yeah. It's definitely getting warmer. Kenny D says, I wish my GPU would idle that low. That would be good. Yeah, Glenn says, my GPU is idling lower than the temp in Mike's studio. A lot of graphics cards these days now don't have the always on fans. They have zero fan. So unless they get to like 50 or 60 degrees, they just wait until they get that hot. Whereas I think I would prefer the fans to go, but then you need to install either some software like Afterburner or something. Bit of a pain. But probably is worth doing these days.
Zero fan, like
Zero
different
RPM.
version of OnlyFans.
Yeah, Zero Fan is like OnlyFans for really unattractive people.
Or unfamous.
Milks Monster says, I live in, he probably does love in there as well, I don't know. I live in the attic apartment. I know hot temps, mate. I can imagine. Glenn says it's about 14 degrees Celsius on the Scottish west coast tonight. It's positively tropical. Mookie MC says, as a fellow Ohio resident, I think you mean 82.4 degrees. Very good. Bob's going to start only zero fans. I wonder if I could do that. If I started up an OnlyFans site, I wonder if I'd actually get zero and I could have zero fans. That would be great. I might actually do it. I'm very tempted. What can I do on OnlyFans? Just do like suggestive poses with graphics cards and hard drives and stuff.
Stuart Clary topless in the background.
You can see the thought bubbles come out now. Oh dear. I think it's actually cooling down. Yeah, we turned the fan off and now it's 27.5 degrees.
Yeah, that fan just...
It's half a degree cooler already. That's impressive. Oh, 27.4. It's dropping like a
And you've had that
thing.
fan on.
It's dropping faster than GPU prices. Glenn says anything over 10 degrees Celsius is tops off. Oh dear. Mike's undressing reviews and how to. That would be the one. Ram takes on a whole new meaning on OnlyFans. Thermal paste covering up the bakewells.
You had them out earlier.
Dave! Oh, dear. That'd be, yeah, you could have a stick of RAM to cover up your dangly bits. And it's like, are you a DDR5 man, DDR4, or are you a SODIMM? Oh, dear. Captain Robbie says, Mike, I've seen your Sahara Gaming ad pose. That's about all we need to see. I know. I did that pose as a joke for a stream at some point. And they said, oh, have you got a picture we can put on our website for your site and stuff? It's like, not really.
You should have sent me one that I put on that phone.
Yeah.
Looks like fun. Ugly Bob has sent me some laptop memory.
David Aikens says, I wish I was a SODIMM. I could use an SD card.
You could have them on the other side.
You get an SD card and drill 2 holes in each side and put a bit of wire around it and have it as a thong.
You know Ugly Bob's going to send that to you now.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, incredible. That's what we should definitely do. Right, okay, I think we should probably wrap things up on that bombshell with Dave and his SD card pants. Oh, dear.
Would you have loved that?
The heat is getting to me.
Would you have loved SD card pants more than your spaceman pants?
Oh yeah, I think so. I do want, actually that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? A pair of pants with like AMD on it or Nvidia or Intel, and on the back you could have Outel. The heat is definitely getting to me now.
We haven't even been drinking.
Oh dear.
Tim Nice was sort of.
Dave needs 5000D on the Slack. Oh dear. AIO boxer briefs, that'd be good. Captain Robbie says, I'm sensing a charity calendar shoot incoming.
Send your pics in and we're making.
That would be good actually, a charity calendar. See if I can get some of the other United Kingdom or British, whatever you want to call it, YouTubers to all do one. There's got to be at least 12 of us. There must be. Yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. Anyway, moving on. So we're going to be looking out for Amazon bargains on Amazon Prime Day, which we haven't even mentioned when it is yet. I'm pretty sure
it's the 12th.
It's the 12th and the 13th. I am going to double check. 3 days until Prime Day. So 12th to the 13th of July. So that'll be from 1 minute past midnight on the morning of the 12th until
Which was my dad's birthday.
23:55 on the 13th. So 48 hours almost of good fun there.
Of you getting stressed.
Of me getting stressed. Right? Why do they not reduce the RAM? Stuart Cleary with a super chat.
How am I going to sunbathe with no RAM?
Yeah. How am I going to sunbathe with no RAM sticks? Damn you. 10 euros from Stuart Cleary. Thank you, Stuart. Bless you, sir. So, yeah, look out for the deals. Post any deals that you find on our Discord in the Bargains No chat. They will be converted to affiliate links, so if you're not sure, if you want to buy something from us affiliated, just post a link in the Discord and the Discord will automatically convert that into an affiliated link. You can delete your original post if you want to and just leave the other one on. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap things up. Hopefully you've had a little bit of fun and entertainment tonight, and maybe you've even learned something at the beginning of the first segment. It all kind of went a little bit downhill. I blame it on the heat, but anyway, you know what it is. So I've been Mike. Oh, actually, I should say thank you all so much for your super chats and obviously for joining us on this very hot Saturday evening. I'm sure there's other things you could be doing that are a lot cooler, and yeah, we should buy a hot tub mud machine. That's what we want. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on. Thank you all for your super chats and join us this evening, and we will see you the same time next week, hopefully with no technical issues. So I'm Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you. Yes, you. In the very next video. Thanks for watching.